All right. So I wanted to address that whole situation with Anthony Lennon, this white guy who resembles a mixed race person, who has basically, how do I say it? He's basically taken money that was meant for people of color. I really hate that term, but black, Asian, ethnic minorities. He's taken money meant for them, and it's a weird thing because his genes are white. Yeah, his genes are white. His mother and father are both white. His grandparents are white. His great grandparents before them were white. Yet this man looks like a mixed race person. So I'm thinking it might be a throwback gene to, he probably has a black ancestor out there somewhere. So the Times UK has said that one of the leading lights in British black theatre was wrestling with the question of what makes a person black last night after it emerged that he has previously described himself as white. Anthony Lennon has benefited from taxpayer support to aid his development as a black, Asian and minority ethnic leader in the arts. Even though this man is white, so those funds could have been gone to a black person, Asian person, whatever, but yet they've gone to him, which is madness. Now in the past he's described himself as white, and like I said, yes, he does look mixed race. However, that is beyond the point. If you're claiming to be white and all your ancestors are white, then what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? This is a bunch of nonsense, because it does confuse people. When they look at him, they do say, well, something's going on here. And I'm just like, have you heard of Sandra Lang? Have you heard of her? She was born in 1955 in South Africa, and both her parents are white, and yet she resembles a mixed race person. So at first they thought, that her mother was cheating on her father with a black man, but no, when they got DNA tests, they found out he's the father, okay, and she's the mother. But yet Sandra looks like a mixed race person, and her younger brother also looks like a mixed race person as well. Her older brother, however, they all have the same parents, both the same mother and father. Her older brother is the only one out of the siblings who looks white, as in, pale skin, everything. And this is what looking at this situation with Anthony Lennon is very strange, because it's the same thing. I could immediately connect the dots when I saw him. Okay, you're claiming white, but you look like a mixed race person. I could connect the dots. Sandra Lang, it's a throwback thing. However, just because you have ancestry from way back that may be black African, that does not make you black, because that's far down the line, and you don't have the right to claim something that doesn't belong to you. Now he says now he identifies as a black person. He's gone through the struggles of being a black man. I found that very offensive. You come from a place of privilege. You know who you are. You know your identity. You know that your lineage is white European. His parents, grandparents are Irish. Now, if you don't know anything about the Irish, they were in Barbados, they were indentured servants. They were never slaves, they were indentured servants. I don't know why people keep spreading those lies around, but yes, they were indentured servants. And when you're a servant, you have a choice. You can leave or you can stay. Slaves, however, did not have that choice. Okay, this is where people don't seem to be realizing slaves don't have choices like that. So for people to keep saying that, the Irish in Barbados were slaves, you were never slaves, ever. You were servants. But yes, his family were Irish. Now I do understand that the Irish here in the UK did have a lot of xenophobia thrown at them from other white people, the white British. They used to put signs outside pubs saying no Irish, no niggers, no blacks, no dogs. So they did get persecuted a lot. and I will never take that away from them, but your experience is vastly different to ours. You were never slaves like our ancestors were, and we need to start spreading that truth. You were never slaves. However, you was treated poorly, but not to the extent of transatlantic slavery. So I'm going to need people to stop spreading that lie around. Now, to go back to this point, Jamelia was on the Jeremy Vine show yesterday, and she said that Anthony had the right to claim himself to be a black person, and that transracial people should have a right to claim whatever race they want to. Now, just because you look a certain way, I mean, there are black people who look white, but they're fully black. There are white people, as you can see, who look black, but they're white. So, but does that give them the right to be claiming something that they actually aren't? Because despite the fact he looks like a mixed race person, due to colorism and due to his parentage, he has a lot more privilege than the average black man does just walking down the street. Okay, you may not necessarily, you know, get pulled over in the street, yeah, when driving your car. You may not get stopped and searched. A lot of things that happen to black people, he may not have experienced. So for him to sit there and say he's experienced what it is to be a black man, do you really? Just listen to what black men say, and you will realise you've not experienced that. And this is what's getting on my nerves, is that everybody is kind of, there are black people who are defending what he's done. What he did was so wrong, because there are people working in the arts, and they could have got this money and it would have benefited them more. But yet he's gotten given a portion of this money that could have gone to someone who is actually black or actually Asian. But yet he's got given this money. This white man has been given this money because apparently, oh, he's part of the BAME community. And he's not. He's a white man with a fucking tan. Let's keep it real. This man's dark white. And it's just another slap in the face for... It's just another slap in the face for black people who have to struggle so hard to fit into this country, to try and make something of themselves, and then for this white man to come along and say, well, I identify myself as black now, so therefore I can take what rightfully belongs to you. It's disgusting. And I don't agree with that at all. I don't. I just don't see how he can have the goal through majority of his life to be claiming himself as white, and all of a sudden now he's claiming himself to be black. Like, you cannot change who you are. You are a white man. You are white. Okay? And it's just like, it's so unfair because black people do not have the privilege to just change their race. We can't wake up one morning and decide to be white. Even if we bleach our skin, our features are still going to be the same. So we can't just say, oh, you know what, yeah, I'm going to be white today and I'm going to have this white privilege and I'm going to get whatever job I apply for straight away, and there's going to be no discriminations, and there's going to be no discrimination against me. I can go and go to the bank and I can get a mortgage, and they're not going to discriminate me. They're not going to discriminate against me. They're going to give me that mortgage straight away, and there's going to be no stipulations. Okay, and the interest for me is not going to be higher because I'm a white person today. Okay, and I'm going to change my fucking name. My name is no longer going to be Keisha, it's going to be Karen. Okay, and I'm Karen, and I love black men. I don't like black women though, but I love that black dick, and I want to have some mixed race children with some pretty hair. Do you see how foolish it is? You cannot just go around changing who you are. Because being black is more than skin deep. It's your culture that you're raised within. Okay? Sometimes it's the food you eat. It's your lived experiences, what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. That's what makes you black. And I'm sorry, but you was brought up by two Irish parents. How the fuck can you claim that you are a black man when you was raised by two white Irish parents? How can you claim black? The Irish culture is completely different. So how are you claiming black, sir? Please, how are you? That doesn't even make any sense to me. How can you claim something you are not? You may have black friends, right? But you can't experience the same thing that they experience. And you being raised with white people because that's your family. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as me living with obviously my black parents, and they tell me their experiences here in this country. You cannot relate to that. So I'm sorry, I just find the whole situation really pitiful and ridiculous, and the fact that there are black people out there who are defending this man. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, Jamelia, I've not been your biggest fan anyway. If you not know about Jamelia, she used to be a singer, and now I don't know what she does now. I don't really follow her like that. However, to go on big television yesterday morning and say that this white man can identify as a black man if he chooses to, is ridiculous. You don't have the right to say that. You should know better as a black woman that our experiences are very unique to us as black people who are actually black. We know our ancestry, we know our heritage. We may not know exactly where in Africa we come from, but however we can possibly trace it back. Okay? But fair to say that it's so fucking embarrassing for her as a black person to be saying that in front of all those white people there, as if they don't already feel like we are not unified already. And then for her to go and sit on that freaking television show and say that this white man can identify as black as he chooses to, and there's nothing wrong with being transracial, which is a foolish thing. Transracial, really, you can just change your race just like that. No, the fuck you can't. And people, please help with this. We are all one race, the human race. But nah, listen, yeah. If that was true, racism wouldn't even be a thing. So shut the fuck up, please. Shut your ass or mouth up. I'm just sick and tired of they're able to have this privilege to say wake up one day and choose to be black, and then nobody ever questions that. However, we black people, because of how we look, cannot wake up one day and decide to be white. We just fucking can't. And that's the thing people don't realise, what gets on my nerves, is they can do that, but we can't. And that is their white privilege that allows them to be able to say, you know what, I'm waking up one day and I'm saying I'm black, and nobody's gonna tell me different. It's damn right foolishness, and I'm glad that a lot of black people cussed out Jamila yesterday. I'm fucking glad. You are the dumbest woman in fucking England, I swear to God. Where did she even get this idea from? Like, you really, like, you've got 3 black daughters, right? You're married to a black man, and this is the kind of foolishness you come out with. You see, and just because, this is what I keep saying, just because someone's natural don't mean that they're so-called woke or they're knowledgeable. She showed herself to be an intellectual dingbat yesterday. Honestly. Like, if you don't know what race is, don't talk about it. But you as a black woman should have more knowledge than what you showed yesterday. However you chose not to, however you chose to, oh yeah, you know what, I'm going to conform with what them people are saying. And if he wants to choose to be black, then that's fine. Because you know, a lot of white people don't see a problem with that. They don't. And she chose to do that on big television like that yesterday. Making it look embarrassing to the black race. I'm sorry. Fucking embarrassing. Now I understand why people are confused because of Anthony's appearance. However, you should also know that this man has privilege because of who his parents are, and his grandparents and his great-grandparents. This man blatantly said it. He knows all his ancestors are white. Yet Yeah, I don't know where his skin color came from. Like I said, it may be a throwback. It may be a throwback anyway from like way back in the day. Like, I'm talking before even his great grandparents were born, like way back in the day. Yeah, but at the same time, this man is white. Basically, all his ancestors up to him are fucking white. So for him to sit there and claim to be black, you're not black. You don't have no black experiences, really. So this whole situation has just really gotten on my damn nerves. I was really irritated by Anthony Lennon. You took money that does not belong to you. You should fucking return it. Like, seriously, you're claiming black. No, you should be returning it. And why the hell is your hold on one second. And why the hell have you changed your middle name to this Nigerian name, please? I mean, Anthony Akundio. I mean, that Akundio. That is, I'm sure that's a Nigerian name or something. Like, is Nigeria the only country in Africa you know? Is that the only country you know? Seriously? And why did you have to choose an African name anyway? If you're claiming black now, why did you have to choose a Nigerian name? Especially since the fact that actually a lot of black people have the name Anthony. So what was the point in that? It don't even make no sense. And the thing is, with a lot of these names, these African names, yeah, from these individual countries, a lot of them actually have deep significance and cultural meaning. It's not just a name just to be a name. It actually has a meaning. So for you to just pluck one up off the internet and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna call myself that because I'm black now, it's offensive. It's offensive to them. Because I know some people, people from, I believe, Nigeria, their names are significant to what day of the week they was born on. So like, some people have names that mean they were born on a Sunday, or they were born on a Monday, or born on a Tuesday, and that has meaning to them. So if you to just come along and say, well, I'm going to give myself some random name, and I bet you don't even know the meaning of the name. I bet you don't know the significance of the name, but you just feel that it suits your new black self now. Okay, even though you're a white man, and this is the ignorance I'm talking about. They don't know fuck all about the culture, okay? But yet they can just pluck something out of the culture and say, yeah, that suits me now. And it's fucking annoying. But you know what, let me just end this video here because I've got one more video to come, alright?